Hey folks, welcome back. So this week we are going to be doing some work on fencing. Now what we're going to get done this week is just going to be a drop in the bucket as far as everything that needs to be done on the farm for this. Basically all the fences need to be either redone or they may not be where I want them. So there's a lot more to do than what we're going to get done in this video. But we got to get started somewhere, and one of the places that needs to go in first is right here in front of the Millhouse. Now this is going to be sort of an interesting place putting it in because there's several things that I'm kind of having to figure where this is going to go and how this one's going to connect in, and it's going to be a little bit tricky, so it's probably not the best place for me to be starting off working on this. But anywho, before we can start actually doing any of the fence and building it, we've got to bring all of our materials down here. Now we've already got a bunch of fence posts and they are up closer to the road, so we're going to spend a little bit of time here. We're going to grab the skid steer. We need to put the thumb on the forks, and we're gonna just start making some trips up and down, grabbing our bundles of our fence posts, bringing those down here so they're nice and close at hand, and then we can start trying to figure out how we're gonna go about doing this. All right, well, we got all of the posts down here, at least I think that we did. So I've got to go through and double check, see what all we've got down here, make sure we've got everything that we need. Now we got some of these guys, and these are a composite post, and I don't think we're going to use any of these right down here for this fence that's going in front of the Millhouse, but we'll definitely be using some of those in other parts, and I'll talk more about that whenever we get around to actually using those. So if you're wondering what those are, that's what it is, but we'll save those for a different day. All right, so our next step is we need to get our cross braces, cross posts, whatever they're called, in place here. Now, I put our two vertical posts just a little closer than 10 feet. So I'll need to get a measurement here and cut probably 2 or 3 inches off from the end of this. And then what we'll need to do is drill holes in our post. We got little pins that'll go in there, and then that is what will hold this post in place, and then put our cross wire on. All right, so now that we got our horizontal cross piece on here, we can start running our brace wire, which is gonna be at the bottom on this side, and then it's gonna come up to the top over here. And you can't quite see it from your angle there, but I left the pin that runs through this post and into our cross piece here. It's sticking out probably 1.5 inches or so, and that's what the wire is going to kind of come up around on this side. All right, so the first thing that we are gonna work on today is trying to get this barbed wire fence picked up that's running through here. Now this is something that I put up several years back when I moved the old fence from right in front of the mill house out a little bit so I'd have room to put logs and stuff. But now, since we're getting our new one in, we're gonna rip this out, and it's gonna be a whole lot easier doing it right now than after we get a bunch of high tensile strands going right through there as well. All right, so our next step is we are gonna get our braces put in kind of on this side for the stretch of fence that's gonna be coming down along through here. We're over here, we'll have a stretch of fence coming along through here, then we're gonna have a gate going across through here, and then where the step-in stake is back here, this will be the other side of the gate, so it'll hinge from this side, it'll connect over to this side, and then right here in front of where the hydrant is, I think I'm actually gonna put in some board fence here, and it will be on this side of our hydrant. That way, I think for the most part, the hydrant will get used on that side of the fence. There's gonna be some garden space over there, so it's probably gonna be used over there the most. But if I ever needed to fill up a tank or something on this side for something that isn't able to use the regular cattle water, like if I had goats or something like that, I would still be able to just reach through here. I wouldn't have electric fence, so it'd be easy to reach through, turn the hydrant on, and not have to worry about that. And then where this other step-in stake is over here, this will be the first brace post for our fence that's gonna run down through there. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's some orange flagging down there. That's where the other end of this little line is gonna be. And then there's gonna be another 16-foot gate down there. And then that will kind of tie into where the laneway is that runs all the way up through there and then kind of heads on up the mountain. Alrighty folks, I think that is all we are going to be getting done on this project for this week. Next week, we may be back to working on this project, although I'm hoping that we are going to have a video on finishing off electric at the mill house and getting that hooked up to grid power. I'm hoping, because we're going on about a month now that I've been waiting on that to get hooked up, so I'm hoping it'll be that, but we may be continuing on with this, getting some wire strung on here, getting the gate hooked onto this post, and doing a few projects like that. So that is going to be it for this week's video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.